It's 5 a.m. on New Year's Eve. Earlier in the week, Drew and I put together a plan for a little photo hike. I've still got some preparation to do, but first, coffee. Heading into the mountains in the winter requires a bit more planning than most casual hikes off the I-90 corridor. We weren't going to need snowshoes for this one, but the forecast from last night had the snow level down at 1,000 feet. Based on that, many sections of this trek would be flirting with the snow line. We'd mapped out Tin Cup Joe Falls as a possible objective, but without any certainty whether or not it would really be reachable. Based on the information I could find, I was expecting snow on the ground and intermittent rain. Just to be safe, I checked the avalanche report for the pass as well. Many peaks above this valley would be snowbound this time of year, and traveling below avalanche terrain is still hazardous. It's best to know the state of the snowpack overhead and stay aware while hiking. All signs pointed to a wet and cold New Year's Eve. It would be a Pacific Northwest paradise. While summer can be a convenient time to hike, it has a lot of drawbacks. Spots like this, which are just 45 minutes outside the city, are a nightmare in peak season because of crowds. In addition to that, sunrise is brutally early. Although hitting the trail early enough to catch a 5 a.m. sunrise from the top is a great way to combat the crowding issue. Sunset is similarly late. You'd be hanging around at your photo spot of choice until 10 p.m. if you stay to catch some shots during blue hour. On many trails, this could put you back at the trailhead after midnight. When we set hiking objectives, sometimes they're more like a best-case scenario. Winter conditions add a lot of uncertainty to any outing, and the best plans have flexibility to accommodate whatever unexpected challenges you might run into. This was like that. A 10-mile round trip might not be feasible when tackling winter trail conditions, but it's good to get out and get to know the area regardless. I used to dislike one-way hikes. It always felt like the hike out was just a replay of the same scenery that you'd already seen, where loops and point-to-point hikes kept things fresh. My opinion changed when I started hiking with a camera. When you hike out and back, you can scout for interesting locations without worrying about whether or not you should stop to burn time taking a photo. You can keep a little list in your head of interesting spots and prioritize them on your way back in order of interest. A loop or a point-to-point hike will leave you guessing the entire time. Is this shot worth waiting at to see if the light changes? What if there's a better one just around the bend? You might feel like you're hedging your bets with the sunrise or sunset on a loop that you've never hiked. Of course, all that uncertainty can be resolved by just doing a little scouting. I think any photographer would tell you that visiting a place several times in a variety of conditions is the best way to set yourself up for great photos. We didn't get to Tin Cup Joe Falls this time, but we spotted a different falls on the hike in. At the time, I decided not to stop because I knew we'd get a chance on the way back. There wasn't any path up to it, but what I could see from the trail was too alluring to ignore, so I sent the drone uphill to investigate. I'm really glad that we had the luxury of a second shot at filming this one. As far as a name, what do I even call it? On the map I didn't see anything specific. This just looks like one of the tributaries that feeds into 9 Hour Creek. So I guess this is 9 Hour Falls.